Shin Wolford lives with his adoptive grandfather in the forest. In a past life, he remembers working as a salaryman on Earth in Japan, but he does not remember how his past life ended. After he was reincarnated, his family was massacred by a demon attack, and Merlin Wolfhard adopted him as a baby. In his new life, his adoptive grandfather Merlin is an accomplished magician and has been teaching Shin magic. Shin has become very skilled in magic even at a young age. During this time, Shin meets his grandfather's two friends, Melida Bowen and Mitchell Calling, who also train Shin in magic and combat. On Shin's 10th birthday, Merlin takes Shin on his first demon hunt. Merlin shows Shin how to use magic as a way to detect demons, and Merlin is surprised with how easily his grandson uses his magic. Soon Shin tracks down a demon and, to Merlin's amazement, quickly decapitates the demon without the old man's help. As Shin has gotten older, Merlin decides to tell Shin that he was adopted and that Merlin is not his real grandfather. But Shin assures Merlin that he considers Merlin his true family after the old man had taken him in as a baby. 5 years later, Merlin and his friends celebrate Shin's 15th birthday. At the celebrations is Decium, a friend of Merlin and Melida who Shin saw many times growing up. At a demonstration, Shin shows his overwhelming magical power, and Decium suggests that Shin should join the Magical Academy at Earlshide to avoid the imbalance of power the world will feel if a mage as strong as Shin is wandering around. Shin, who grew up with Decium, is shocked to find that Decium is actually the king of Earlshide and that his big sister Chris and big brother Sieg are actually the king's escort. Shin learns that at a young age Merlin and Melida saved Decium, who was the crown prince, from demons. They decide to enroll Shin in the academy, and at the capital Shin discovers his family is incredibly wealthy. That night Shin saves 2 girls from being harassed and finds one of them very cute. The 2 girls are Maria and Cicelian, and Shin finds out they also intend to enroll in the Mage Academy. As Shin leaves, Maria teases Cicelian as she starts to have feelings for Shin. Later, Kurt von Rietzberg is insulted by Shin's commoner behavior, but Shin takes him down. Shin is then complimented by August von Earlshade, who is Decium's son and the prince. The day of the entrance exams arrives, and Shin is embarrassed that his peers yell out their spell incantations instead of casting magic wordlessly. He is further shocked by their weakness in magic. Without a word, Shin blows up the training doll to everyone's amazement, and he receives the best score out of all the students. As he was the top scorer in the exams, Shin gives a speech to the other students. After the speech, Shin defends Cicelian from Kurt, who has been constantly harassing her with marriage proposals and threatening to use his family's connections to ruin her own family. Og arrives to defuse the situation. Shin would like to enchant Cicelian's clothes to better protect her, but Melida questions this decision and Cicelian apologizes for troubling them. It turns out that Melida was testing Cicelian and approves of her, and she agrees to help the girl. Shin's uniform enchantments are incredibly powerful, and after he enchants his friends' uniforms, Decium asks them all to keep it a secret so as to not spark an international incident. At the first day of school, Shin and his friends meet Alice Corner, who also came late because she overslept. Many students wish to form a study group with Shin, including their teacher, as he has become known for possessing powerful magic. They call their study group the Ultimate Magic Study Group. That night, Kurt's father confronts him about his behavior at school and grounds him, but Kurt is still deluded and blames everything on Shin. Kurt is visited by his former magic teacher, who seems to hurt him. The next day, Shin detects killing intent and defends Cicelian from an attacking Kurt. The group realizes that Kurt has become demonized. Shin battles the demonized Kurt and is surprised to find the demon still capable of reason, and he believes there must be a way to save Kurt and turn him back to normal. However, Kurt becomes too strong and Shin is forced to kill him, resulting in Shin's first human kill. For defeating a demon inside the capital, Decium wishes to give Shin a medal, but Merlin and Melida are worried about Shin's growing reputation. Due to this reputation, many students want to join Shin's study group, so his teacher Marcus imposes strict requirements, resulting in only 2 new students, Mark Bean and Olivia Stone, able to pass the minimum requirement. The Crown looks into Kurt's death, and investigators are sent to speak to Oliver Strom, Kurt's former middle school teacher. Oliver is an exiled noble from the Blue Sphere Empire and lost his eyesight in a power struggle among the noble. The investigators invite Oliver to examine Kurt's body but trick him into an ambush. Oliver defeats the soldiers but is revealed to Shin and his friends, who were walking nearby. Shin confronts Oliver, and during the fight Oliver's eyes are revealed, showing him to be an intelligent demon. Shin seemingly defeats Oliver with a giant heat ray spell, but Shin wonders if he truly killed the demon. Shin and his friends go into the city, and he commissions a new sword from Mark's family, as they are blacksmiths. Intending to improve the defenses of his friends, he suggests some jewelry with defensive magic for Cicelian, who mistakes his intentions as something else. The pair buy a ring for Cicelian to keep her safe, and she treasures it. After receiving his medal from the king, Shin has grown so popular among the people he resorts to using teleportation magic to avoid the crowds to go to school. At the study group, Shin realizes his friends have serious misconceptions concerning magic, such as thinking chants are necessary. and he realizes he has a lot to teach his friends about magic. Later, they all meet Merlin and Melida, who praise Shin's way of thinking of magic in an abstract manner, which allows him to create new spells that others can use, such as gate teleportation. The study group is happy they are progressing their magic and learning with Shin, but are worried about rumors of potential war with the Blue Sphere Empire after losing troops against the Earlshide Kingdom. Harold von Richmond, the Emperor of the Blue Sphere Empire, hurries back to his capital, which is overrun by demons. Oliver has betrayed him and released demons into the capital, and he quickly kills the Emperor and takes the throne. The Earlshide's kingdom's army, which was pursuing the Empire troops, quickly discover that Oliver has turned many Empire citizens into demons, and the army is forced to retreat. To defend the kingdom, the Mage Academy students are asked to join the fighting. Shin, Og, Maria, and Sicilian are joined by 4 students of the Knight Academy to fight the demons. The team is also joined by Chris and Craig. Shin saves the knights from a boar demon, and they are healed by Sicilian, who the male knights quickly form feelings for while Shin looks on with jealousy. The team is attacked by a horde of demons, and Shin uses an explosion spell to wipe them out. Saved by Shin again, one of the knights compliments Shin and Sicilian, mistaking them to be a couple. Among the other teams, the other knight trainees run into trouble with the demons, and the magicians all have to save them. Due to the study group's combat capabilities and the threat of the demons, the study group is turned into a special unit in Earlshide's army led by Og. Og reveals that the demons have been destroying towns in the Blue Sphere Empire and turning their victims into more demons. To train at a more remote area, the group decide to go to Claude, a town of hot springs where Sicilian's family is located. At the training camp, Shin grows even more powerful. However, Og is worried about the situation back at the kingdom, so he and Shin return back home using a teleportation gate. The two meet Og's fiancée, Elisabeth Corral, and Og's little sister, May von Earlshide. After spending some time with them, the two boys invite the two girls to join their friends at Claude. Later that night, Shin and Sicilian share an intimate moment, and Shin confesses to Sicilian, and the two become a couple, but find out that their friends were spying on them. After a competitive beach volleyball match, the group discuss how Og and Elisabeth met each other as children. Melida checks on them, and the group pretends to be asleep, but Shin is caught accidentally with Sicilian. The next day, Shin and Sicilian announce to her parents that they are dating. They approve as long as he intends to marry her, and Shin agrees on an engagement. While training with the group, Shin discovers how to fly by inventing anti-gravity magic. He hopes to use this technique to defeat Oliver. At night, Merlin and Melida are surprised to hear about Shin's engagement, but are supportive by them and Sicilian's parents when he announces he will do anything to keep her safe. The group grow more powerful in their magic, and Shin takes the group to hunt disaster-class demons, which his friends defeat without Shin's help. After fighting the demons, the group celebrates Sicilian and Shin's engagement at their engagement party. At the engagement party, the king celebrate the couple's union as their friends and family look on. And when alone that night, Shin proposes to Sicilian and gives her a ring. Meanwhile, at the Empire, the last human town has fallen, and all the citizens of the Empire have turned into demons. Dissatisfied with Oliver's rule, many citizens begin to break away from the Empire, but Oliver doesn't care. He later reveals that he was once Olivera von Stratius, a noble of the Empire who visited the kingdom of Earlshide and was inspired by their kindness to the common people. In his own lands, he began to treat his people better, and soon he and his pregnant wife were beloved by the people. Jealous of his popularity, the nobles framed Oliver for kidnapping commoner women, and angry townsfolk burned down Oliver's mansion with his wife inside. The incident caused him to turn into a demon and swear vengeance on the Empire. Meanwhile, at the Earlshide Kingdom, Og is proclaimed the crown prince. At the ceremony, a messenger arrives stating that demons are attacking the nearby Swede kingdom. Og promises to the people that he and Shin will lead the Ultimate Magicians, their former study group, to defeat the demons. The Ultimate Magicians discover that the Swede kingdom's outer defenses have already fallen and the kingdom is overrun with demons. Og announces they are here to help, and they gather kingdom's defensive forces. In the streets of the kingdom, the demons prove too much for the local knights and magicians, but the Ultimate Magicians quickly defeat the demons in their own individual battles. Meanwhile, Og and Maria are confronted by Fabra, who leads the demon forces in the kingdom. He proves to be a better fighter than the other demons and uses a magical item created by Shin that he stole, but is quickly defeated. Oliver's second Miria arrives in the Swede kingdom to confront the Ultimate Magicians. Alice, Tony, Yuri, and Lynn attempt to fight her, but she proves to be too powerful and are defeated. Shin arrives and becomes incredibly angry to see his defeated friends. The two exchange blows, and Miria prepares to flee with the help of the demon Lawrence. Miria covers her retreat with a large explosive spell, and Shin lets the demons escape to protect his friends with a huge barrier. The Ultimate Magicians return to the aid station, where Sicilian has been hard at work healing all the townsfolk. Now that the demons have been driven off, Og proposes to the Swede king an alliance between the two kingdoms, which the king accepts. Returning home to Earlshide, Og asks his father if he and the ultimate magicians can travel the world and form alliances with the other kingdoms, to which the king accepts. The group takes flight, intent on saving the world against the demons. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.